Hi everyone! Today I'm making a video to help you plan your Crossing Newfoundland by ATV trip. And I'm going to show you how to use my online map, my downloadable GPS tracks, and my YouTube videos. First thing you want to do is go to my Crossing Newfoundland by ATV.com website. There's a ton of information there, so sit down, grab a coffee, or a glass of wine or beer or whatever, grab a notepad, and be ready to take some notes. Also, set some time aside to watch my YouTube videos in full. Each year's videos are laid out in a chronological fashion, so you can see exactly what each particular trip looks like and you'll know just what to expect. Also, I explain a lot in those videos and I give a lot of tips, so if you skim through the videos, you're probably going to miss something important. The intro page on my website provides important information like you don't need a trail pass to ride an ATV in Newfoundland, and it also covers off other things you'll need on the trip. On the planning page, there's 5 sections. Each one is equally important. But first, here are the 5 basic steps you'll need to plan the trip. 1. Pick the dates you're available to go. Number 2. Book your ferry crossings, and do that early. And that includes a personal boarding pass, your vehicle pass, and an overnight accommodations if you're doing the night crossing. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the ferry is that you have to pay in advance. So when you make your bookings, you pay at that time. Marine Atlantic has an awesome cancellation policy, so book in advance, and if you have to cancel your trip, don't worry, you're going to get your money back. Step 3 is the initial planning and booking stage. Figure out what route you want to take and book your hotels. Step 4 is the detailed planning phase. I've got a lot of tips on my website that you'll probably want to know, so make sure you read it all. Step 5, review my packing tips, especially if it's your first time. Now I'm going to get into the maps. If you click on the GPS and Maps page on my website, the first thing you're going to see is my Google map of the island. That is meant as a reference. Do not plan on using that to get yourself across the island. There's lots of places in Newfoundland where there's no cell signal, so you're not going to be able to access that map. What you want to do is download tracks that I have on my website and install them on your phone or a GPS. There's 2 different files I have on there. One's a GPX and one's a KML, and I'll explain the difference between the 2 of them. The GPX file will work with any GPS or smartphone GPS app. The KML one has the specific Google icons on there that makes it much easier when you're looking at it, so you can see gas stations, you can see hotels. There are tons of GPS apps out there you can download on your phone or tablet, but the only thing is, the only one that I know of that will include those KML icons is Locust Maps 4 or Locust Maps 3 Classic, which is what I use. And Locust Maps only works on Android products. Now here's a few things to know about the map. All the rail bed is blue. The red trails that you see on here, they're paved roads or trails I haven't done before. There's lots of paved roads that are legal to drive ATVs on in Newfoundland. If you select a track on the Google map, there's information you can look at. For example, if I click on this blue track here between Port aux Basques and Robinsons, it has the name and it also tells you the distance. All of these trails, if you click on each one, will tell you how long they are. Let's say you're planning your trip and you want to go from Deer Lake to Robinsons. You don't know how far that is. There's a couple of different options that you could do here. First, you could use my map. You can come in here and each of these trails, if you start in say Deer Lake, figure out the route you want to take, come in here, click on each line, and remember each one tells you the distance. This is the most direct route. So if you click on all these lines, you can pick your route and add them up. Now, I always add about 10 or 15% just because of side routes or anything like that. And sometimes these trails aren't 100% accurate and the distances. Or another thing you could do is go to my planning page. And in my planning page, if you go to the what route section, I have several routes already laid out. So for example, option 1, entire island, 6 days east to west. There is a section under here where one of them says Deer Lake to Robinsons, 210 kilometers. That's based on mileage that we actually drove one time. Now, let's go back to the maps page for a minute on my website. This section here are where the 2 downloadable tracks are, the GPX and the KML. The most up-to-date ones I have on there so far from 2022, nothing really changes much, but every now and then I add new things in there that I think of, or sometimes if there's washouts, I'll add those in there on my online map. You can actually get the online map yourself and download that if you want the most up-to-date maps that there is. Basically, all you have to do is come click on this and it'll take you to my Google Maps page. Now, when you're looking at the Google Maps page, you'll see these 3 dots at the top. Click on this, click here that says download KML, export as KML instead of KMZ, and hit OK. And it's going to save it to your machine in your downloads folder. There's one more thing I want to talk about quickly, and that's my YouTube videos. If you're on my Crossing Newfoundland by ATV page, there's a link at the top. The first series that I have listed is the 2023 one, which is the newest. Then there's a list of other videos that I have listed all the way down to 2018. If you click on any particular set of trips, for example, the 2020 ones, you'll see we did 2 trips that year, one in July and one in September. Every single day is outlined here briefly at the top, tells you how far we went in kilometers and miles. Then you can come down and watch the videos. Or you can go to my East Coast ATV YouTube page, which is youtube.com/eastcoastatv, all one word. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that I have a playlist for all my Newfoundland trips, all the way from 2023, all the way down to 2013. And there's tons of tips on my website all throughout, the planning page especially. You can choose the quick guide section, what route to take, my thoughts on if you should hire a tour guide or not, tons of frequently asked questions that people have had over the years, like can you do this trip by myself, how long does it take, where do you leave your trucks and trailers, things like that, and packing tips. There's also a lot of information about costs, and a lot of people are interested in that. So make sure you take a look through the website. Anyway, I hope that helps you planning your trip. And if you like the content, please click the like and subscribe buttons.